Hi, good morning. My name is Celia Blum. I am a bereavement coordinator with Doylestown Hospice. I'm proud to say that I have worked at Doylestown Hospital for 25 years in many different capacities, but being in hospice and the hospice bereavement coordinator has been the most valuable and satisfying and enriching piece of work that I've done over the last 25 years. As a bereavement coordinator with hospice, you kind of come in usually at the back end of the support that's provided because we have phenomenal social workers who are actively involved in supporting families and patients throughout their stay on hospice. But what I think many people don't recognize is that the journey through grief doesn't end when the person dies, it actually begins again. And my position gives me the opportunity to uh, ex- offer support and education and companionship to people who are in the first 1 to 2 years of grief. We have a very robust bereavement program. It's really devised to provide an individual plan of care for every person, because the thing that's most important for everybody to recognize is that there's no grief is alike. Every grief is individual. There's no rule book for how to navigate and manage grief. And so what we try to do is really understand each person's story, what their situation is, what their support system is, what their concerns are, and really create something that will be meaningful and valuable for them. Um, Through COVID, we have really transitioned a large part of our program into a virtual program, but I have to say it's been fairly successful. We have at least 4 support groups running at this time. We have a bereavement book group running. And my colleague and I do several seminars throughout the year. One's called Who Am I Now?, which really is an introduction to grief for people who are newly bereaved, to help them understand, what am I going through? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Will I ever get through this? And to help them develop coping strategies for new loss. We're in the near future, we're doing a program called Coping with the Holidays. And again, the first year of holidays and anniversaries and birthdays are excruciatingly difficult for anyone who's sustained a major loss. So we try to capture topics that are relevant to people throughout the first year to continue to give them that support. And then in the last year, we recently started offering support for people in the second year of loss. Because the gurus in the field of bereavement have said that new loss is the first 2 years. And there are major differences between the first year of loss and the second year of loss. And I'm proud to say that we really have expanded the program to also include support for people in the second year of loss as they transition from what seems to be shock and a blur and a sense of overwhelm to dealing with the reality and the finality of the loss. I have to say that um, I gain as much or more from the work that I do because I learn so much from the people who participate in the program, and it's very, very enriching and satisfying for me. And hospice is tricky because I was actually just at a gala last night for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Bucks County. The person next to me said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I work for Doylestown Hospital." And they said, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "I work for hospice." And I think it's really hard. That's kind of sort of can potentially stop a conversation. But I was with my husband last night, and he said, you need to stand proud, and you need to educate people and let people know that this is an incredibly viable and needed service that the hospital and our community provides. I think the last thing I just want to make sure that people understand is that our hospice program is open to everybody in the community. It's not just for people who've lost their loved ones on our hospice. So our goal is to serve as many people as we possibly can. And I hope to be doing this for a long time to come. One of the things that I find most satisfying as a bereavement coordinator is what I call the role of a weaver. And what I mean by that is that I'm bringing people together with like losses and creating opportunities for them to mentor one another. And over the years that I've been doing this work, I really don't think there's anything more powerful than watching someone who is a little further on in their loss and their grief process, supporting someone who is just walking into that situation. It's very powerful. It's actually very magical. And I think it's one of the things that really helps grievers develop a sense of resilience to know that they will eventually be okay. We always say to people, you'll never get over your loss, but you will adapt and you will learn to live with it and you'll learn to heal. And one of the most important pieces in that is having the support of other people who really get it.